Hello, so this was the second film noir I've ever watched before. Laura was a great watch, very intriguing. It kept you on your toes throughout the whole film. So let's get into it. Starting off, right away, the film starts off in Lydeker's house, and Detective McPherson, you see him by this clock and inspecting it, and you even hear Lydeker narrate that he seems somewhat obsessed with his clock. And that goes to foreshadow later on, as you see in the film, that Lydecker puts a gun in Laura's apartment, and Detective McPherson finds it. So this was great foreshadowing right at the beginning of the film that, truthfully, I didn't catch at first, and then I was like, oh, this is why the clock was so important in the beginning of the film. And this is a clip that almost made me side with Lydecker, because I'll play it and then I'll explain my piece.
She was extremely kind, but I was always sure she would never have thrown her life away on a male beauty in distress.
I suppose you've heard losers whine before, especially in your profession, eh? Would you like a bite of lunch, Lieutenant?
Now, that's very thoughtful. The perfect host.
Waldo?
You'd almost think he was in his own home.
Shelby knows how to.
So this scene right here, it shows the tension and almost the battle for Laura that's going on in the film. And for me personally, at this point, I know it was right in the beginning, but it almost made me feel like, Lydecker was almost telling the truth. I was on his side for most of it, truthfully, because, I don't know, Shelby, Carpenter just came off as, very arrogant, as, he uses that line, losers whine, kind of trying to put him down with McPherson. And as you can see, his mistress and Treadwell is right there holding his arm, so didn't really look too convincing to me. But later on, you see Lydecker is the one, and it's not Mr. Carpenter.
She was extremely kind, but I was always sure she...
And this right here is another image that I thought was very important as he's investigating, where Laura is, where she may be. He's, just dazing into this image that even earlier on in the film, you see him and Lydecker make a joke. So like, oh, are we gonna go half on the painting? Because obviously Lydecker sees that McPherson sees the beauty that obviously he saw in Laura, and same with Carpenter. There was a lot of people after her, so this was definitely an important moment that you see later on in the film too. At the end, right at the end, the last scene, you see this painting. So this was very important foreshadowing. Along with the clock, this is just as important, I think. I thought these were two interesting scenes, two interesting pictures. This is right when Laura comes back from being away. You see McPherson gets up off his chair and he's just like, where have you been? You didn't see the papers, you didn't see anything, and she's just very very, very, like, has no idea what's going on. She's very clueless of what's going on. She's like, oh no, I just went away, I didn't expect anything. And you see Lydecker's reaction. He looks like a dead man walking. He was very shocked. It was very shocking for him to see Laura at that moment. So it was cool to see their reactions. I thought that was important. And this is the end scene. This is obviously very important. We'll play this.
Goodbye, my love.
So this is obviously very important. You hear the last words in the movie, goodbye, Laura, goodbye, my love. Obviously for Lydecker, if he couldn't be with Laura, no one could be. And you see right at the beginning of this clip and at the end, you see the painting at the beginning and you see the clock at the end. So you see two pieces of foreshadowing that were extremely important throughout the film and show on later on. Overall, this was my second film noir, and truthfully, I'm starting to grow a great interest in them. You never know what's going to happen. It seems like the ending, and it always hits you with a curveball at the end. So I'm excited to keep going, and overall, Laura was a great film. Recommend it.